Hello, online crew. How is everyone today? Hope you're doing awesome. So today we're going to talk about something that every single one of you should be using to create curiosity and intrigue and promote your business subtly in some ways. And it's a tool that you've got access to now. You've had access to it for ages, and I hope you're using it. So does anyone have any idea about what tool I could be talking about? What's something available to you on social media right now, has been for a while, that creates awesome curiosity if you do the right kind of posts, and it's just really easy, quick to do. So if you're not using it, you are missing out. What do you think I might be talking about for those that are more in the know? So that's what we're going to talk about today. So how's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing really well. If we have not met before, my name is Helen Martin. I'm your online crew captain. So we're just here to have a little bit of fun with our amazing online crew community here, which is full of entrepreneurs, home-based business owners, direct sellers, those in network marketing, MLM. Excuse me. And what we're here to do is learn modern social media strategies to build our business online. So the last thing we want to do is drag anyone, to be in business with us or to buy anything off us. We truly want to attract people to us. So through what we learn regarding social media, creating influence, attraction marketing, the things that you can do to keep you ahead of everyone else on social media, that's what we kind of learn here. So if anyone is new, please let us know so we can give you a special shout out. We have people watching here from my business page. We also have people watching from my free group, Social Media Strategies for Home Business Owners. We've also got coaching crew members, which is my private coaching community, that are here, life members, and those in my VIP program. So you'll see different emojis pop up to sort of identify where people are coming from. So who is here? We've got Krystal. Hello, how are you going today? Good to see you here, Krystal. Krystal's a life member of our coaching community. High five, Mike. How are you going? It is the start of the weekend for us here in Australia, and almost, I guess, in other parts of the world. So I hope you have an awesome weekend ahead. Cindy's one of our life members and VIPs. We've got Patricia is a life member. Krystal, what's going on in your world? I got a letter from my kids' school and they're going back in the fall, but everyone is required to wear a mask. Lunches will be in the classrooms and everyone will have temperature taken before going inside the school. It's going to take a while to get inside school then, isn't it? I guess they're just taking, precautions, but that's interesting. I guess it'd be good for the kids to get back to school. Hey, Edith, how are you? We've got Heather here as well. Edith. So Edith is saying stories. What else do we say? Cynthia, how are you? One of our life members in VIP. Hey, Lena, how are you? Good to see you here. We got Beth. Beth is saying stories. Krystal saying stories. Glenn, how are you? What have you got on your profile pic there? Today is going to be great. Love that, Glenn. Very positive. Hello, Heather. How are you? One of our VIPs as well. Hello, Lynn. Lovely to see you here. We got Judy and Bob. Heather saying stories. Michael saying stories. Krystal, Facebook stories. Teresa. Hey, Teresa saying stories. Hello, Ray. Good to see you here. Monica. Hello. Good to see you here. Diane saying stories. Stories for sure. Probably a bit of giveaway in my description, and I've been talking about it all week, but yeah, you're right, guys. So Beth is a life member. Stories. We got Megan here, life member of VIP. Heather saying stories. So you're on it, guys. You're on it. Now, what's the reason I would say that? So go a little bit further with that, guys. What is the cool thing about stories? Why would I emphasize to you, use stories? If you're not using stories, you're missing out. All those kind of things. What's the reason that stories is so important? What's the reason that you're using them? Like, share with me your thoughts around that. So let's take it a step further. Hey, Laurie, just got off an abso-freakingly amazing VIP call. Tons of laughs and good learning all around. Hope you have a good day. Good to see my VIPs are doing good work there. Awesome, Laurie. Stories. Hey, Odith, how are you? We got Susan in the house, life member of VIP. Hello, Olive, life member. Steph. What is wrong with me this morning? I've got a frog in my throat. I don't know. Who can pick it? I had a dentist appointment today and I had to sign a form and have my temperature taken. Really? I guess you could understand that with a dentist because they're like they're right there, aren't they? Yeah, I'm not sure. I've woken up not feeling 100%. You can probably see it. Can you see it? Those that you know me well, you can probably see it. I'm all good. A bit funny. Hello, Tanai. How are you? Good to see you here. We've got Maylin here. We've got Tina. Susan's on it. People sent a messenger. Okay, well done, Heather. So that is one of the beautiful things regarding stories. And even if you know this, guys, stay with me because I just want to give you a couple of tips. I'm going into way more depth regarding this next week in What's Working Now bootcamp. And I'm going to give you tips and tricks that you have never seen before regarding how to use Facebook stories, which is awesome because it helps you guys stand out from the crowd. So I will show you things that I'm sure you've not seen before regarding Facebook stories, but stay with me with this video because I just want to do a check-in on some of the things that you should be, make sure you've an absolute minimum with Facebook stories and just a couple of creative tips for you. So I'll start the conversation here and we'll carry that on next week in the bootcamp. If you want to join us next week for the What's Working Now bootcamp, so excuse me, post ideas that create curiosity, intrigue on your news feed, and a whole lot of stories, ideas. You just need to be a member of our coaching community, which you can join for $1 if you're not in before. All the details are in the link above, so you can just check it out by clicking the link above. But yeah, sends people to Messenger. So powerful. So you can start conversations that you even haven't initiated because you're commenting on somebody else's stories. Cindy, yes, they are ephemeral. So if you are not aware, ephemeral content means they disappear. So it's not something that's permanent. They only last 24 hours and then they're gone, but you can keep your own archive. So this is the kind of stuff that we want to make sure that you've got all covered. So if you want to go back to a story, you want to repurpose a story, you don't have to type it out again. There may be things that you want to promote. If it's in your archive, you just go to your archive, pick it up again and share it again. But there's so many things that you may not be aware of that stories do. And although I will concentrate on Facebook stories, it's the same for Instagram. Those of you that love Instagram, same. So just, might be slightly different sort of features to pull up, but same strategies, those kind of things. Not sure if it's just me, but Helen, you keep freezing. Okay, is that for everyone or is it just for Monica? I'd be curious to know, guys. Create curiosity and people talk to you through your messenger, starting a relationship. This is true. And wherever you can, start a relationship which you didn't have to initiate just because you're commenting on someone else's story, then you can never be faulted. Oh, the only reason why you message me out of the blue is because you want to get me in your business. Like you can't be faulted for that when you use stories in the right way. There is great organic reach with stories. You're right, Teresa, because it's a totally different algorithm to our newsfeed, and it is favored by Facebook. So definitely you want to be embracing it. You can change it up so often. Absolutely. You can share your life, quick and easy, creates curiosity, intrigue. You're on a roll, guys. Love it. Keeps freezing. Oh, sorry. So is that for everybody or is it, so if it's for Steph, I'm hoping it's not everybody. Can see it in my eyes. Yep, see it in my eyes. Hi, Bridget. Some of you are getting to know me very well. Goes to Messenger, sends people to Messenger, keeps you in contact. Hey, Bella, how are you? She looks good my end. Just try to get off Facebook and open it again. Thanks for the feedback there, Bella. A number of seasons. Tons of people see the stories. It connects to Messenger and you can actually see who exactly sees it. And there is massive strategy behind that when you know who's looking at your stuff and you get into tune with who's watching you regularly, can give you very big clues as to who you should be spending time with on Facebook as far as your interaction and DMO and stuff like that. So there's real strategy behind it when you know how. But they're very powerful. Curiosity sends people to Messenger. Not freezing here. Okay, thanks, guys. So it may just be a couple of you. Just go out and come back in again. But thank you for your feedback there. Anybody that appears like that, I'm not sure if that's you still, Charlene, or somebody else, but if you know you've commented in and we can't see your profile, it just means you need to click on the StreamYard link. You'll only see that link if you're watching from the group. You won't see that link if you're watching from the business page. So let's get into the content. I just want to do a check-in with you guys to make sure that you've got your settings set up right, that you're aware of how to get into stories, because there's 3 different ways that you can get into stories. You have access to slightly different features depending on the way you go into stories. There's things, right, even if you don't know what to create, there's templates sitting there ready for you to just pull up one and just test it out. So if you've never used stories before, take one of the tips that I'm giving you from this video and just go and test it out. It doesn't create, doesn't require any major creativity or anything like that. You can just use one of the templates that's given to you, and you can put a story out there. Those of you that are in my coaching community, we are diving deep next week into this. I'm going to give you layering ideas, video ideas. Some of you may know you can only do a video for 20 seconds on stories, but there are ways and means around chopping things up when you use certain apps and then layer things. And like, we're going to get really creative with Facebook stories. You're going to love it. So when you do things that are different to everyone else, and you know the strategy behind Facebook stories, like, everybody can use Facebook stories, but if your Facebook stories are boring, if they've got way too many words on them, if they're all static, people tap forward. Now, when people tap forward from your stories, that's a signal to Facebook. People don't like this person's stories, or they're not being captured by the Facebook stories. What you're aiming for with Facebook stories is to people to stay and watch your Facebook story, but it's not too busy, but it's not too static, and that people aren't, if anything, they're tapping back to watch it again rather than tapping forward because it's boring. Okay, so there are things that we want to aim for. Bare minimum, you want the blue circle around your profile picture every 24 hours. So bare minimum, you should be aiming for one story every 24 hours to make sure the blue ring is around your profile picture. Those of you that are brand new to Facebook stories and have no idea what I mean, let's just pull up my personal profile. Can you see around my face is a blue ring? So that is identifying that I have an active story going. That's what you want. If we go into Messenger, I can tell by the people that are at the top there, if I scroll, who's got an active story and who hasn't, because they've got a blue circle around them. So I talked about this the other day. A good networking strategy for you guys is to go into your Messenger, look who's got the blue circle, and just tap on it and comment, congratulate, compliment, just make some kind of comment in people's Messenger. Okay, so that's a strategy around the blue circle for you. But what you should be aiming for is to always have the blue circle around your picture. Also, the more stories that you do, the more identifiable. Let me show you this. So mine are going to show first, but then whoever's got the most recent story is going to be next. So your goal in other people's news feeds is to be right at the front here, okay, within these first ones, not right at the back. So the more stories that you do, the more visible that you are going to be right next to at the beginning. Okay, so that's also a goal for you as well. But what I want to check in with you guys, and I would recommend that you check on this every now and again, because sometimes, like what happened a few weeks ago when Facebook did a rollout of some changes, and my settings and a lot of other people's settings, and some of you guys told me this as well, our personal profiles went from public and defaulted back to friends. Wasn't anything by our doing, it was just it defaulted back. This happens with stories as well. You want your stories to be set to public. It is something that you want to go in and check every now and again, because sometimes it defaults to friends only. Now, if you're going to go to the trouble of learning stories and maximizing stories and getting creative with stories, you want them to be public. So let's just take a check-in with how we get into stories and how we check all of that. So the 3 ways that you can get into stories, if I go into Facebook and I go to home, it's sitting right here. Okay, now you may not have the split screen. I have Facebook stories for my personal profile and Facebook stories from my business page, so I can go to either one of those really simply. I don't believe everyone still has that, or everyone has that feature yet. So you might only be able to see your personal profile there. So I can click on the plus button and it'll take me to stories. So it'll take me to some templates and it'll also take me to my camera roll. Okay, that's one way. The other way is I can actually go into my personal Facebook page and I can go to add to story. So I can go into there and I'm going to see the same options. Okay, that's the second way. The third way you can get to stories is from your messenger. So when I go back to the beginning, there's a little plus there and it says add to story. And then it's going to give me the options there. Just a little heads up, when you go through to stories from your messenger, you won't get as many features as if you go in the other way. So whatever way you want to go in, that is fine. I'm just going to go in via my personal profile. So I'm going to add to story, okay? Now, if you've never used stories before, just use these little guys up here. A newer one, I don't know if you guys have picked this up yet, but it's really cool, is one that called Mood. Have you all got that? So click on Mood. And if you tuned into my stories last night on my personal profile, I used one of these. And it gives you like these moving, animations depending on the moods. So we've got popular, love, grateful, bored, shocked, tired, LOL, hungry, happy, gutted. So you can pull up one of these. So what can I pull up? Hungry. So I can pull up one. Isn't that cute? How cute's that? I can use my fingers to resize. I can turn it round, side to side, things like that. I could, just size it enough that then I can click on the little A and just put some words on top of it and move them around and, things like that. But if you've never used stories before, just use, some of the templates that Facebook has given you. You could just do a text and put a positive quote on that. Some of you will have music, some of you will not. You could do a boomerang. So just take a little picture of something, use the mood one. Let me know, guys, if you all got mood. I'd be intrigued to know. We've got selfie there and I've got poll. So I've got features straight from here that you could use and play around with. I've also got, my personal profile. So this was my drink the other night. My sister-in-law gave me this beautiful glass. And so I just had to put something in it. Now that's not gin. And that's not margarita, guys, but it is alcoholic. Those of you that know me well, what's one of my other favorite drinks? What's in that? So I just I sent a picture to my sister-in-law saying I'm getting good use out of your cup. So that's from my camera roll. I could put that in my story. I could put myself at the bottom there. Go ha ha ha. Whatever. This is what we're going to do in the training. We're just going to layer and layer and layer. So I can go straight to my camera roll. So you don't have to have a lot of thought initially if you've never used stories before. You've got templates up the top and you've got straight from your camera roll. So it is better to do photographs native in stories rather than picking up something from your camera roll. But I'll go through the reasons for that sort of next week. Oh, you don't have mood. Okay. So that's interesting. Don't have the mood, all the others though. Yeah, got all of those. So Teresa does. Don't have the mood, still don't have music. Don't have mood. Oh, you guys, yes, have mood. So that's interesting. Beth, you don't have it, but Janet, you do. Do you guys both have iPhones or Android? Or I'd be interested to dissect that because you're in the same country. So it shouldn't be country related. Sometimes features are country related. No mood. It's not gin. What was in it? No mood. Looks like beer. No, I don't like beer. Not my thing. I have mood. You're close. You're very close, Susan. Don't have mood. I tried to do a story on both my personal and business page. Good. Don't have mood. Don't have mood. So Janet's got an iPhone. Beth's got an iPhone 8. Okay. Part of the problem for you, Beth, would be the age of your phone. I would say that's quite an older version of an iPhone now. Teresa's got the iPhone and she said she does it. So it could be the age of your phone. Yeah. So one of my other, well done, Susan. One of my others is I love the honey bourbon, not just normal bourbon, the honey flavored bourbon with dry ginger. So that's what was in that glass last night. There you go. So I got margaritas first, gin and tonic second, bourbon and dry, but the honey bourbon third. So Janet, you have the same phone as Beth. So that's probably the reason maybe that you guys don't have it, because it's a little bit older. Okay, so now what I wanted to show you, what I want you guys to check in on with stories is I'm going to go back to story. I'll go in a different way. Oh, sorry. Yeah, it is bourbon, but it's so yeah, you're close. I was drinking the Wild Turkey Honey bourbon. So it wasn't, Jack Daniels is quite right bourbon, but Wild Turkey Honey version. So just slightly different product. So let's go into stories. Okay. Now I'm just going to take a picture of nothing. So, or I don't even really need to take a picture. Well, I will take a picture. Okay. So I've just taken a picture just to show you something. Down here, there's a couple of ways to get to this. Can you see this little wheel here? And it says privacy. Click on that and check here. So that's one thing I want you to check, is that it is on public. Okay, so that's one way of getting there. The other way you can get that, I'm just going to discard that, is when you go to take a picture. So I'll just blank out the camera there, not to distract you. Can you see that wheel is up the top there? Okay, so I'm just in stories and I'm going to take a photograph of something. So go up to the wheel there, and this is the other way that you can check on it. So can you see that? What you want to check on is that you are saving things that you're sharing so it can be archived, and that it is public. Okay, so just every now and again go in and check those settings, because occasionally it will default to friends only, and you want to make sure that that's set on public. But you also want to save what you're doing. So you can go into stories and go into your archive, and everything will be there that you have shared previously. And if there's something that you want to share again, then you can go into that archive and just press the share button and share it straight again, and it will appear native and original as if it's in your stories, new and fresh. So there is benefit to saving all your stories, although we do know it's ephemeral content and it disappears. As long as you're archiving it, then you can also create highlights on your personal profile. So if I go back to my personal profile, and I haven't updated this for a while, you go into my personal profile and I scroll, you will get to a point where it says story highlights. So when you're saving all your stories, you can create these, like I can create a new one, edit story highlights or add new. I can create these little albums of stories. So even though the point of stories is that it's ephemeral content and it disappears, if you're saving them, you can keep them and put them in these little albums. And so they're there forever. So really good stories that maybe you've only taken in stories and not taken on your camera roll, and thought, oh, I didn't save that, or I should have taken that on my camera roll as well as in stories. As long as you're archiving it and it's still there, then you can put it in a highlight. You might have a special occasion and you took a lot of footage, but only in stories. You could put that in an album. Maybe somebody got married or a particular holiday you went on, and you can and it's going to sit there forever regarding story highlights. Okay, you can say I haven't updated these for a while, but I've got one regarding Harley, who's our dog. Just fun times, work. Wow, that's when I That's when I was very first doing live videos, starting to get some serious lighting. Never had a ring light, mind you. I've only used those kind of lights. But that, it's just when people are snooping around, and they do snoop. Even those of you with a business page, do not think that people don't go back to your personal profile and check you out. So if they go through your stories highlights, they can click and learn a lot about you and what you're up to and the curiosity about the business that you're in and things like that. There's so many things you can do with stories, guys, that can just help you raise your level of influence, give behind the scenes type stuff, which people love. You can have a story album regarding, what you do as a side business, and it's all curiosity and intrigue based, but you've got a whole album on it about what you do, how grateful you are, people maybe in your team that have achieved things that you've put in your stories. You could create an album around that. And when people are snooping about you and what you're up to and, the good things that are happening in your world, and it's all stored in a stories highlights from stories that you've done, which normally disappear. Like, there's just so many things that you can do. And this is the stuff that's working now. This is like the stories algorithm, as I said, is completely different to the news feed. And you can have as many as you like. The more stories you can have, the better. And honestly, sometimes I just forget in my day because I'm so busy going to one thing to another. But every moment of those I should be capturing. It takes a second. Put a few words on it or a moving GIF or something like that. So I know even I can be doing a better job of Facebook stories. I'm sure you all can. But there are people killing it in the network marketing, digital marketing space by creating curiosity, intrigue through stories. So next week in the bootcamp, the What's Working Now bootcamp, I'm going to go through a whole lot of things regarding Facebook stories and how you can utilize them and ideas and storage and archiving and albums and just different things that not the average person using stories will do. And also post for your newsfeed regarding what's working now and questions and curiosity and stuff like that. So I guess just a warning, the FTC has sent its second round of letters last week to another lot of network marketing companies because there are still a lot of people that are posting things and relating it to COVID or the virus or, their health products or Plan B and income and stuff like that. Like, you've got to be so careful with what you're posting on social media in this industry because there are people like the FTC that don't like us capitalizing on things like a Plan B during virus time or boost your immune system. We will, we'll get you healthy so you don't catch the virus. Like, there's so many people doing so many things that are just wrong. You've got to be really careful what you post on social media, but there are so many things that you can do that can create that, and create that curiosity and intrigue. So that's what the boot camp's all about. So click the link above if you're not already in the coaching community, if you want to join us for that. Okay. No, I was on my personal profile for that, Laurie. Changing the setting to public is only for your fan page. Your fan page is public. So you don't have to change any settings because a fan page is public. What I was showing you was personal profile, because personal profile, we can choose whether we want to be, private or public. So yeah, it's already taken care of for your business page because a business page is public. And that's, sorry, I'm just reading the second bit. You don't have the option for your business page because a business page is already public. You can't do friends only on a business page. Okay. Where was the story highlights? That was on my personal profile, but you have to create them. So I'll go through that in the boot camp as well, Teresa. So hold tight. Okay. Yes, I heard that 600 letters went out. So it's the second wave of letters. And they are picking up on the smallest of things, guys. So the FTC is sending these letters to companies going, not cool, we'll shut you down if you don't get on top of this and you don't stop your people posting spammy things on social media. So you do need to be really, really careful. Okay, so that's it for me today. I've got 2 minutes to get on a team call with my network marketing guys. So it's the weekend. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I'll look forward to seeing you guys early next week for more great stuff, whatever's going on in social media world. Thank you for being here. I really, really appreciate you guys. And if you want to join us for this awesome training next week, then come and join us over at the coaching community as well. Okay, see you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.